Okay, so I had a plan, but then I just thought, I'm getting it all becoming inspirational now. And you only had this thought for yesterday and today. When I was planning to upload the 5 Judeo-Christian, Jewish deities or beings this week, and I was going to do one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, one on Saturday, and then I was going to do 2 next week. But then I was like inspired. The inspiration just comes not instantaneously, but like spontaneously. And the thing is today's Monday. So I've done that previous recording on my camera, Yahweh 1. But then maybe I did push it, maybe I didn't, I'm not sure. But my mind is blank as to whether I pushed accept for the music thing. Using the music, saying, giving acknowledgement that it's not my music. I forgot the exact words because it's just something that comes automatically whenever you use the sound. If you're a music creator, unless they've changed it so that for everyone, man, maybe they changed it since 2023 when I did Pathway to Healing Part 1 and Pathway to Healing Part 2. Well, that's when I uploaded them. Mistakes learnt, because I wrote them in 2022. I should have uploaded them then when I was still feeling it. Like, you're still feeling it a year later, but it's not the rawness of how you're explaining it at that time. It's just like recounting how you felt a year ago. Lesson learnt. But I thought that control was a good thing. It is, but in the way it's not. So I'm not sure if Pathway to Freedom 1 and 2 was last year, 2024. So it's been about 6 months since I finished that Pathway to Freedom Part 2. But here's the thing. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I pushed it. It's escaped my mind. If it doesn't get muted, that means I have pushed it. ADHD. Now, I'm unmedicated, so I'm very mild. But I want to get medications because I've had a lot of... it's always been fear about the medications because I've always just medicated myself with different things. I was always trying different things. I was going to show you guys some stuff, but I've only been doing it for the past year. It's been magical. I used to have antidepressants and things like that, and because they would mellow me out and help me go to sleep, but at the same time it was like I tried a bunch of other things and it started working. So there was a time when I was taking these calcium tablets. Calcium and magnesium. Men's multi. I've had this for about a year though, because that's how I just take them when I run out. Let's say I'm waiting for a week for my next my next container to come along. I'll use these as an in-between. Even they're running out. Like Terry Joel said, or CMOS. But yeah, I bumped into a bunch of ADHD people saying how great their medication has been for them, and they don't have they're able to stay on track, they're able to do this and that. So yeah, once I get full-time employment, I want to go on, because they said, you're going to have to get diagnosed. It's going to be $700 per meeting. I don't know how many meetings it's going to be, but you meet the criteria for mild. And we have to give you the right medication. supposed to help me stay on track, because what I'm saying is great, but the way I say it and the way I do it doesn't get sold, because people give me implied meanings, people say all this and that, and that's because, there's a certain way that the high majority of people behave when they're telling the truth. There's a certain way that high majority of people behave when they're lying. And that doesn't line up with me because of my level 1. Well, I don't know. People say it's a spectrum, because I talk a lot. I'm a social person, but unless I can pick up that, because there's a difference between having bad energy and just having it out for me, You could be having bad energy because you had a bad day, or maybe you're feeling a bit jealous, but I know you're not going to do anything because you're just feeling that way, and then you're not going to do anything because you just want to go and get things done yourself, and then you'll achieve certain things, and then that jealousy will go away, and then you wouldn't have stopped me, and you wouldn't wish the worst on me. You wouldn't stop me. You wouldn't do what you can to stop me. You just be like, you're jealous, but you don't actually do anything. You just go out there to try and achieve it yourself, but you're not trying to stop me from achieving those things. I can tell that too. But the high majority of the time, people just act upon their emotions, or they plan based upon their emotions because they feel a certain way. And me, I would let that feeling resonate, and I would use that to inspire me to go and achieve things, but I wouldn't stop them from achieving things. I wouldn't try and stop them. I'd just be like, I'm going to go do it myself. So, Yahweh. But again, that's all part of my thinking. You see how Yahweh comes in. See, I don't want to go on about it, but I have to bring it in because I was raised Christian. So, the Bible says that you shall honor your parents. You're lucky that you was born in the New Testament times, because if you were born in the Old Testament times and you questioned me like how you questioned me, Daniel, you'd be stoned to death by now because you're such a disobedient, evil child. You're not supposed to question me. You're supposed to do exactly what I say, when I say it, how I say it, because you were supposed to honor me, because I am the parent. And then I read how big and tough that the God in the Bible was, and I was like, well, it doesn't. And I was thinking to myself, you don't have the balls to say it outright, and then you might have this big courage thing come up, and you say it every here and there when you're like a toddler, when you're like 3 or 4, and then a bit more bravery comes out weakly when you're in your teenage years, and then in your 20s. Physically speaking, they can't do anything because if you're in your prime. So, but at the same time, you want to carry on with your life. You don't want anything bad to happen. So it's a self-control thing. But you're like, man, that God of the Old Testament, he is bigger and tougher than anyone I could ever think of. And obviously, there's a lot more rules than the 10 Commandments. But to me, the 10 Commandments stuck out, and it didn't really, because when you're younger, you are amenable to what you hear. And here in the West, they talk about the 10 Commandments, but there was actually more like 72 or something. But because I was influenced by preaching and how the Bible was written, and I was like, well, and God will never do that to me, and he'll always take care of me, because the big God, and this is when I was like a toddler and growing up, the big God is really happy with me because I don't lie and I don't cheat and I don't steal and I'm a good boy. I follow the 10 Commandments. And he's bigger and tougher than any of these school teachers and my parents, and and so any spirit, he's not a human being. God is spirit, so God's happy with me.